What's up guys, it's Aaronitmar, and today I want to address a topic that I've been asked about quite a lot recently, and I'm sure most Smash YouTubers have as well. And that is the topic of just who exactly I think that the ARMS representative is going to be for Fighter Pass 2. If you don't know, which if you don't, I would just be completely surprised that you didn't know, it was revealed in a Nintendo Direct Mini that the 6th DLC fighter is going to be a character from ARMS. But that's literally all they told us, and we're still at minimum a month away from them actually revealing the character. They showed the ARMS roster, they told us the fighter would be from ARMS, they said the announcement would be in June, and then they sent us on our merry way. So this, of course, exploded discussion and questions on who this character could be. While I've been streaming a lot lately, I have been asked over and over again who I think the ARMS character is. And so as a result, I've had quite a bit of time to discuss it and think about it, and I've come up with 3 possible scenarios that I can kind of see happening. And so I'd like to present those to you all, and I'd love to know what you guys think is most likely by leaving me a comment down below. So our first scenario is that the fighter is indeed truly a single fighter. No alternate characters on the slot, they're not a hero situation, they're just a pure single character. And if this is the case, I think that Ribbon Girl will be the chosen character, plain and simple. A lot of people online have talked about the lack of female character representation in the first Fighter Pass, with female Byleth and Kazooie really being the only female characters. So Nintendo may have taken notice of this and made Ribbon Girl the ARMS choice for this reason alone. Springman and Ribbon Girl are kind of the Mario and Luigi of ARMS, they're the face of the game. So it makes big sense that if they want female representation, they would go to the head honcho of the series. Also, Ribbon Girl is the only one in the game who can double jump, so that ability goes right into Smash perfectly. But there's also the chance that we're gonna see Springman as well. Despite everything that I just said, he is the one that they chose to put in as an assist trophy, which seems to tell me that he has an edge over Ribbon Girl in terms of recognition, at least in the eyes of the Smash team. If Ribbon Girl was seemingly more popular or more fit for Smash, wouldn't they have used her as the assist trophy? So it's still a good possibility that we'll see Springman. But that of course then begs the question, what will they do about the Springman assist trophy? Now there are 2 easy answers here, both of which have some decent merit. The first is simply disabling the Springman assist trophy. In Ultimate, many of the assist trophies get disabled based on certain criteria or certain stages. For example, Alucard can never appear on the stage Wii Fit Studio, because there's a giant mirror in the background and vampires don't have reflections. Knuckles, Cap'n, and the Moon also can't appear on certain stages due to being background characters that are already there. Those are just a couple examples, but this happens a ton in Ultimate, and so the same thing can easily be done for Springman in a very similar way. And programming wise, it's just a basic logical condition. If Springman is a fighter, then Springman cannot be summoned as an assist. It would be a quick fix, but it would be one that would avoid confusion of having the same character as both a fighter and an assist on screen at the same time. But a second way that would be much more fun is if they replaced the Springman assist trophy with something that looks and functions almost exactly the same. And fortunately, ARMS has us covered there as well. Springtron is a robot replica of Springman, serving as a clone in the ARMS roster. Physically, Springtron is the exact same size and stature as Springman, so replacing him would honestly not cause them to exert that much extra effort. Plus, imagine how they could announce it. Imagine the announcement direct. We've seen Springman and his moveset, and then Sakurai says, "And now for a little surprise." And then we see Springman getting punched away by Springtron. Honestly, this makes a lot of sense, and I really hope that if Springman is the fighter, that this is what happens. They could even add Springtron one of 2 ways. It could just come with the update and automatically replace the assist trophy Springman, or it could come with the purchase of Springman. That way, if you didn't purchase the fighter, your Springman assist trophy isn't replaced, so you can still enjoy seeing him if you want to. But there is of course the second scenario, which many people are still speculating could be real, and that's of course that we will get a hero scenario with alternate characters on a single slot. Now the upside here is that we get more representation from ARMS rather than just a single character, and the ARMS cast has a huge majority of the same abilities and attacks, having only a couple of unique abilities to each fighter. Now in this hypothetical scenario where there are multiples on a single slot, I think that the most likely scenario is going to be both Springman and Ribbon Girl, for exactly the same reasons that I just listed. Being basically the main characters, it would make perfect sense, and on top of that, there wouldn't be much trouble matching up their bodies because they are very close in size. They may need to do a bit of tweaking here and there, but they are close enough that it would work. Another scenario typically brought up with this multiple character slot is that more than just Springman and Ribbon Girl can be the character, with the most common characters discussed being Ninjara, Min Min, and Twintelle. Now I can see this happening, but I just think it's less likely than just a 2-character or single character slot. I don't think that having so many characters packed into a single slot is something that the Smash team wants to set as a standard. For example, we really only have a handful of character slots that have fully unique characters as different costumes, rather than basic recolors or a male and female variant. Immediate ones that come to mind are Hero, Olimar and Alf, and Bowser Jr. You could also make other arguments like for the Inklings, but the number is actually just still in the single digits, which in a cast of 80 is still quite a small number. To reiterate, I don't count male and female variants in the same way because those aren't fully different characters. They are technically the same character, just with a different appearance. So while it's not impossible to happen for the ARMS rep, and it's been done in the past, I just don't see something like this happening for ARMS. At least to the extent of 4 different characters. I just don't think that this is something that the Smash team wants us to get used to. They don't want it to be seen as a standard, not only because it significantly increases their workload, but because then it ruins the charm and the surprise for when a character like that finally does come along. It makes it less special. Imagine if we'd had a bunch of characters like that before the hero announcement. The surprise of having 4 different protagonists as the actual character just would not have been as impactful if a bunch of other characters had been like that before. We would have been like, oh cool, alright, par for the course, and then moved on. But that's not the world we live in. We freaked out because there were 4 different characters taking up a single slot. But the final alternative is the chance that they are using this ARMS character as a tie-in to the reveal or release of ARMS 2. Now this, in my opinion, is a long shot, but it also does have some points that I've seen brought up. Nintendo announced the ARMS fighter for Smash and made ARMS free to play back to back, which could imply a couple of things. First, it could just be a simple case of checking out the game that the new fighter will be from, and what better way to do that than with a free demo. But it could also imply that this is their way of trying to spark interest back into the ARMS series in preparation for a sequel. Think about it, Smash is probably the best advertising tool that Nintendo has at their disposal. A character gets added to Smash and suddenly millions of eyes are on it, potentially interested in the game series that they're from. On top of that interest, they can try the new game out right now to see if they actually like the gameplay. All of this seems like an excellent foundation to lay before they announce ARMS 2. And maybe as a way to bring even more interest to ARMS 2, they could make the Smash fighter a character from that game. Maybe it will be the new face of the game, a new protagonist or set of protagonists to take over for Springman and Ribbon Girl. Or it could maybe be a villain. The possibilities seem endless because in a potential sequel, the number of options are huge when we as the viewer and the player don't actually know what it contains yet. Now this last scenario is all conjecture. Sure, they could be setting up for ARMS 2, but it could easily just be Springman as the fighter while also sparking interest in a sequel. It's hard to say for sure, but the possibilities are fun as a sort of thought experiment. For example, maybe we'll get the best of all worlds. Maybe we'll get Springman, Ribbon Girl, and then a new male and female protagonist from ARMS 2, all diffused together into a single fun character as a way to advertise the new game. Or maybe we'll get none of it. At the end of the day, moveset-wise though, this doesn't make the hugest of differences. There's always a certain amount of creative liberty taken where Smash is concerned, so a character's abilities are always going to be tweaked a bit for Smash. Springman can't double jump in ARMS, but you kind of have to suspend your expectations a little because if he didn't have a double jump in Smash, he would be absolute cheeks. And for the rest of the moveset, honestly, you could hypothetically swap any character from ARMS onto it and it would work, because the available movesets from the actual game are just so close to each other. Now that isn't to say who the character is unimportant, it's just to point out that if we end up with Min Min over Springman, for example, it's not like we're going to be receiving a drastically different character, because odds are Springman and Min Min will probably have a very similar moveset anyway. But those are my thoughts. I can kind of see any of these happening, honestly. I mean, it is Nintendo, so they love to surprise us. But if I was going to place my bets, of which I've lost many when it comes to Smash DLC fighter predictions, I would say that we'll be getting the double character of Springman and Ribbon Girl. It seems like the obvious choice to me, and it sort of does the same thing as Inkling, where it represents the latest IP Nintendo has come up with in a more thorough way without having to come up with a whole second character, or without making one of them an Echo Fighter of some sort. But I just don't think we'll be getting the 4-layer character. I think that's overkill, and, you know, they really saved that for special characters, and I just don't see it happening for an ARMS fighter. Now, I could be wrong, of course, but it's just, that's my prediction. And with that said, I'd love to know what your predictions are. Do you think we're getting a single character, a double character, a 4 character, or do you think somehow we're gonna get an 8 character? You know, I've seen a lot of predictions online, so anything that you think we could be getting, I would love to see down in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you guys are new, then please be sure to subscribe for more Smash content. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, and I hope you have an awesome day.